Hi everyone, are back on the Triumph. We painted it, about a month or 6 weeks ago. Been letting it cure and getting my mind right to prepare on the sanding and buffing, color sanding and buffing. I've already done a fair amount of sanding on it at this point, sanding the little nubs of dirt that might have been in it, and now we're just going over the whole thing and getting it down pretty smooth. This is a lot of repetition for what I'm doing, so I'm going to speed up most of this video to keep you from sitting around and growing old trying to watch it. Process here is I'm wet sanding it. I think at this point I'm at 2000 grit, and then I take a rubber squeegee, pull it off, get down and look at it and see what I've missed. It's a kind of step-by-step process. You just pick a spot and go. Got to be careful on the edges. I have 3 heavy coats of clear on it, so I'm not too concerned about getting through, but it is constantly on your mind to make sure you don't overstep. The video here wasn't too good. Of course, I can't see what I'm shooting until after it's done, but I was showing the different grits that we're using. It was 2000, this is 3000, and then I had a friend of mine at the body shop gave me a couple of these 5000 grit discs, which I find kind of amazing. Back in the olden days of hand rub lacquer jobs, 400 was considered fine. 600 was super fine, that you only did when on the special jobs. And I heard rumors of 800, but I never saw any of it. But the paint products have changed quite a bit. So I've sanded everything through the 2000 and through the 3000. Got to 5000 and going to go over it here. And at the 5000 grit, it even actually almost gets a little bit of shine on it. I'm using a DA sander here, dual action sander with a foam rubber pad. And then I've got 2 little small 3-inch air buffers. One's a regular rotary, and the other end is a small dual action that I use to get into the edges and the curves, trying to be careful not to burn it. At this point, I've completely sanded it up to the 5000 grit, and as you can see, it has a little bit of gloss on it. Now the polishing is basically the same process. I've got 3 different grades of buffing pads, and along with it, there is 3 different grades of buffing compound. And since I don't do this work a lot, my compounds have been sitting since I painted the nose on the Cobra the last time. So since I have it, I'm taking advantage of my little paint shaker and shaking up the bottles. Does a pretty good job. And spread on the compound, get it around, and pretty much repeat what was done with the sandpaper. Got to keep it wet. Don't want it to dry out or it'll score the paint or burn it, or worse yet, rip through it. And the process just takes small sections. I try to overlap the sections quite a bit and polish it, rub it with the rag, and get down and look into it instead of just at it, and look for the sand scratches that I didn't get. Here I'm using the little 3-inch rotary sand polisher to get around all these curves, since these are the defining points of the Tr250 and Tr4 cars. I'm spending a lot of time getting the bug eyes and the dome in the hood to really stand out and look nice. So they're pretty much rinse, wash, and repeat as we go through the different stages. At this point, here's the front half of the hood is polished with the coarser grit of the 3 compounds and a little bit of comparison to the 5000 grit. And as we say, we continue on with the process. See in the background, I have the entire hood shiny with the coarse compound. Now it's time for the middle aggressive pad and the middle compound. And this process here is pretty much the same. It's a little faster because we're not removing quite as much, but then as this shine brings the shine up, as I get down and spend my time looking, like I said, into the paint, I can see some of the 5000 marks that didn't get completely buffed out, and I try to catch those at this point one section at a time. It just becomes kind of overwhelming trying to keep up with all of it and seeing it if you just do the whole thing and then go back and try to look for it. So find a little imperfection, do a little hand scrubbing, go back to the second compound and continue polishing.
Tr250.
And through the magic of time lapse, I've now completed with the second compound. Now I have the least aggressive pad and the final compound that's probably more of a glaze than an abrasive, but the same procedure. Put it on, take it off, look for bad spots, and try to get to the end. And here once again I'm spending a lot of time around the detail of the bulges. I want those to look nice. And the standard is, if you can read the serial number in the reflection, then you pretty much got a nice finish on the paint. If people wonder why paint jobs, high-end paint jobs, cost so much, I have probably pretty close to 7 hours of sanding and polishing just in this hood, and time gets away from you. But the finish is nice. I think it's going to look good. So we'll catch you on the next video, and as I do more body panels. So once again, thanks for watching.